Late last month, a massive Chinese rocket was launched, making a delivery to the Chinese space station under construction. But now a massive piece of that rocket, 32 meters long, is hurtling toward Earth at about 29,000 kilometers per hour. The unit, which you can see flashing in sunlight as it tumbles, is breaking apart, but
you will get a bunch of maybe a couple 100-pound objects slamming into the Earth. And so you don't want to be standing in the way of one of those.
This piece of the rocket is one of the biggest objects to ever make re-entry. 70% of the Earth's surface is water, so odds are that's where the big chunks will land. But there are no guarantees. The U.S. military is tracking the out-of-control descent.
We don't have a plan to shoot the rocket down. We're hopeful that it will land in a place where it won't harm anyone.
Chinese officials are claiming the pieces will fall into international waters and dismissing criticism as Western media hype. But a year ago, another Chinese booster is believed to have struck this village in West Africa's Ivory Coast. China has traditionally shown little concern about its space debris hitting Earth.
Most space agencies, they have a plan in place. They retain control of that booster so that they can control when it re-enters the Earth's atmosphere and where it's going to land. Unfortunately, the Chinese space agency is not doing that.
Fortunately, experts say Canada does not appear to be at risk of being hit, and they say others shouldn't be all that worried either.
Chances of you getting hurt by something like this are extremely small. And if something is going to happen, there's nothing that you can do about it. So just like anything, go about your day. Don't worry about it.
Trackers say they will have a couple of hours warning before the first pieces hit Earth, enough time to give people a heads up if those chunks veer toward populated areas. Jennifer Johnson, Global News, Washington.
Remnants of a free-falling Chinese rocket that's re-entering the Earth's atmosphere are expected to rain down on the planet this weekend, perhaps as early as midnight tonight, Eastern Time. That rocket is descending from orbit in an uncontrolled re-entry. It is currently over South America, heading out toward the Atlantic. Space engineers won't know the exact entry point into the Earth's atmosphere or when until a few hours before it happens. Most of the debris is expected to burn up before that. Ramy Inocencio reports from Hong Kong.
When China's Long March 5B rocket blasted off last week, the country proudly delivered the first module of its planned space station, called Harmony of the Heavens. But back on Earth, more headache than harmony, China has lost control of that 20-ton rocket.
It's coming down on its own. It apparently is tumbling.
Bill Harwood is CBS News space analyst at Cape Canaveral, Florida.
The rocket is passing as far north as New York and Beijing and as far south as Chile and New Zealand. That means it could pretty much crash really, almost anywhere on the planet.
That's right. Anywhere between 41 degrees north latitude and 41 degrees south latitude. But what you have to remember is the world is 75% covered in water. In the land area, while it's very vast, there's a lot more empty land for debris to fall on than there are populated areas.
As skywatchers document the falling rocket from Japan to Washington, D.C., the White House has called for responsible space behavior. Beijing, through state media, has criticized the Pentagon's warnings as Western hype and not worth panicking about. And China's foreign ministry said it's common for upper stages of rockets to burn up, re-entering the atmosphere. While true, China's rocket has no upper stage, the ability to restart its engine, to drive it down and over an ocean to break apart.
Why the Chinese don't put systems on their rockets to do the same thing, we'd have to ask them, and they're not talking.
In 1979, NASA's 76-ton Skylab space station broke up, dropping debris in Western Australia. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Similarly, in 2020, when China's first Long March rocket reportedly rained wreckage over Western Africa, the same way the second could do this weekend someplace. But experts say we will all probably be fine. For CBS This Morning, Saturday, Ramy Inocencio, Hong Kong.
This is the best part. We will all probably.
I know.
Probably.
Probably. It's a good time to remember the 70% water across the globe.
But we're lucky like that. We might just get a visit.
Let's hope.
You want it falling in your backyard?
I don't want it falling in my backyard. I'm just saying, luck of the draw.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know.